Thank you for taking time out with PSOA, Premier Sports Officials Association. Sean Johnston here from Omaha, Nebraska. Decided to create a 5-minute training tape on offensive offside. What has motivated us to do this is feedback from our audience. Sean, is this a foul? Sean, would you call this? Sean, what do you want us to call? So let's take a look at the play. High school encroachment. So there is the player in question. You have another receiver top of the screen who's on the line of scrimmage. 1, 2, 3, 4 backs in the backfield. The ball was marked a half yard from the 49-yard line. So his whole right foot, his helmet, is beyond the football. So black and white. Yes, this is a foul and can be supported as a foul. Now, let's take a look at the offensive offside or encroachment by rule and philosophy. High school, Rule 715 states no player, offense or defense, other than the snapper, the player that has their hand on the ball, shall encroach on the neutral zone after the ball is ready for play. Penalty. In high school, dead ball foul encroachment, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. So we have heard, shouldn't the officials prevent this from happening? My response to this is, I believe all parties are equally responsible. The player is responsible for knowing where the ball was placed before the hand was on the ball. We should be practicing lining up legally, not only on the ball, but your fellow teammates. Snapper. The snapper could look at their teammates to make sure nobody has encroached the line of scrimmage before placing the ball hand on the ball. Because the rule is there is no encroachment unless there is a snapper. A snapper is not designated until they place a hand or hands on the ball. So snappers out here watching this training tape, if you're worried about legally lining up your teammates, don't put the hand on the ball. NCAA rule 713C. Once the snapper is established, no other teammate player may be in or beyond the neutral zone. The neutral zone is the football. Once again, penalty in NCAA, dead ball foul, encroachment, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. To prevent this, can officials talk to the player? Absolutely. But you're in a loud stadium. You're at the end of the game. There's a lot of going on, not only for the official, but pre-snap, game situation, clock status. Where are the players? The officials have so much more responsibility, especially at the end of the game, than to line up players. I believe, I will say, it is more of the responsibility at the end of the game for the players themselves to line themselves up legally and teammates to have their fellow teammates lined up legally. In this case, the snapper. Offense could line up anywhere until that snapper has a hand on the ball. Do not put your hand on the ball unless your teammates are lined up legally and behind the ball. We talked about what causes frustration is consistency. We just saw the Federation rule, dead ball foul, encroachment. NCAA rule, dead ball foul, encroachment. Why in the world did the officials let that play go? Why is it not a dead ball foul? Because that's not what the rule book says. They don't want to take away an opportunity of the defense to get a fumble recovery. They don't want to take away the opportunity of the defense to get an interception. They don't want to take away the defense to have a sack and decline the penalty. All right, so it's a free play, quote unquote, for the defense. So now we talk about styles of officiating. Rule book. The rule says a player who is beyond the neutral zone, when the snapper is established, it is a foul. You will always be supported by a rule book when you say, Coach, by rule, your player was beyond the football. Preventative. Warn to the team, given to the head coach and offensive coordinator. Talk to the player after giving the coach and the warning. It has said, why didn't the official warn the coach? Why didn't the official warn the player? Nobody can say, was the warning given? It could be as crazy as it was part of a training tape sent out to all players and coaches and owners the previous week. So maybe the warning was already given in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. Maybe it was given before the game by the league and or supervisor. All right. So we can't warn every infraction. At some point, officials are going to be told to abide by the rule book. The other thing officials can do is when you are lining up receivers, give your back foot to line up receivers, not your front foot, because we always give a big buffer zone behind the football to determine you're on the line of scrimmage, but you're off the football. Use your back foot, officials. Then we're going to go advantage, disadvantage styles of officiating. Read the defense. Is the defense confused? Is the defense at a disadvantage? As in the offense, it's man-to-man press coverage. If that offensive receiver is beyond the football, they are gaining an advantage because they're able to run their route quicker. And then the last thing with advantage, disadvantage. What does the supervisor, league, and stakeholders want? I believe Terry McCauley said in the live broadcast, this year there has been 11 offside calls on alignment by offensive players. All right, so it is a point of emphasis this year to line up legally and not beyond the football. All right, so at the end of the day, philosophies. 50-50 call. When in Rome, go with what the Romans want you to do. All right, so if players put officials in a 50-50 judgment, one team will be unhappy. So when in Rome, do what the Romans do. What does my supervisor, what does the league want me to do? Point of emphasis, be stricter on offside. We have 11 of them. Graded correct call beyond the football. I'm going to call it as my supervisor wants me to call it. Officials will choose a side in which they will be rewarded. What do you mean by rewarded? Well, we'll talk about the goals of an NFL football official. All right, and as we stated, the philosophy in the NFL this year is to be stricter on alignment by the offensive team. 11 offside called in the NFL this year on the offense. It is a point of emphasis. It was sent out to the players and coaches. So goals. Players want to get to postseason and championship. Officials want to get to the postseason and championship. How do you get to the postseason and championship? You follow the instructions from your coach. You follow the instructions from your league. And you want to, from an official standpoint, you follow the instructions of your supervisors. All right, so I know there's some people upset. Fans are upset, players are upset, coaches are upset at the official. The official is doing their job. All right, I've said it before. In the sports I officiate, softball, baseball, football, basketball, I don't agree with every single rule. I don't agree with every single philosophy. But I'm not in that position to make those rules and philosophies. I'm in a position as an official to protect the integrity of the game, protect the rule book, and I am going to follow the leadership, the league, the supervisors, because that is what brings consistency. I'm going to do what is asked of me to do. So if there are coaches out there, players out there, fans out there, don't be upset at the official. Contact the NFL. Contact your local league if it's a youth league rule that you want to change because officials are being yelled at. That is how you are going to protect the integrity of the game. So one last look at this play as we finish this little training tape. The receiver is clearly a half-yard beyond the football. We had a 49.5-yard spot. Maybe the official could have put it on a line because that's what players are used to practicing, a big line or a hash mark. And it's not a hard spot situation as in short by 5.5 yards or got 4.5 yards to the line again on the football. It is a foul. That is what the officials were instructed to do this year. And you want to know what? I'm going to give huge kudos to this official. A lot of time officials stop officiating after they throw the flag. Here on that as well. Beyond the football, by rule, correct call. By what the league and supervisors want this official to do to get to postseason, correct call. If you have any other questions, comments, or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment on this video. If you are part of conversations where people just aren't buying what you're believing in, that the official got it right and they don't understand why, please share this video with them. All right? Most of the time, officials are not out there as the leader, as the one determining what is and what is not a foul, what is and should be the philosophy. The officials are out there communicating, number one, what the players did, number two, what they are asked to do. So thank you for having the courage to make this call as an on-field official and doing what you do. Officials, thank you for taking time out with PSOA today. Until next time, officials, remember, you're only as good as your last